I just spent so much time recording this video and then my computer ran out of storage and I accidentally hit this delete all and I deleted the entire thing. I'm gonna show you guys. I have spent the better part of an hour on this. What was the video about? Well, we were talking all about how to Sunday reset as an ambitious female. I was just checking my cat because it's pouring right now. Ambitious female who's either building a business or a career or has the desire to build a business or career. And over here, I talk about that. And we have 3 content pillars on this page, which are 1, revenue operations, which is very similar to the business that I run. The business I run, we focus on helping founders build operations that they don't become a slave to. So they're actually having a profitable business that can scale and that it doesn't require like them to be holding everything together in order for it to scale. So we talk a lot about revenue operations and how to set good habits in the beginning so you don't have to hire us down the road. And then the second one is behind the scenes of building a business. So just like a real raw look. I mean, I got pretty vulnerable this year if you scroll back on some videos. And the third, which is this one, this week's, is the 128 Life. So the 128 Collective, we made that name based on the 128 hours outside of the 40-hour work week. And so it's all about helping you work to live and not live to work unless you want to. And so we really encourage setting yourself up for success, having productive habits, leaning into who you are and not losing yourself in your business. And so a piece of being an ambitious female is understanding like, okay, we have these really crazy goals. How do we set ourselves up so we don't lose our mind during the week? And one of my top tips is having a really good Sunday plan. And one of the ways that I do that is, well, 3 of the ways that I do that is what we're going to talk about here. So by a raise of hands, if you do a Sunday reset, you're in good company. If you're looking for ways to optimize it, you're just looking to hear a conversation. I love seeing other people's Sunday resets, or you're looking to create one for yourself. This video might be for you. The first one is meal prep. So my boyfriend and I, we actually use this as quality time because we both really like to cook. But what we'll do is we will go grocery shopping on Saturdays, and then Sunday we set aside 2 hours to make 2 meals. And that will typically get us through Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we'll have to do more later in the week. But meals nourish you as an entrepreneur, right? Like you need to eat good. I'm a big believer. I have a whole video on this page about training like an athlete to show up better at work. Part of training like an athlete is fueling your body. And so we purposefully choose meals that are healthy, filling, enjoyable, easy to make, easy to keep, easy to take for lunch. A few of our favorites, we love enchilada bakes. We made one this week. So you can just look up enchilada casserole on Google. There's a billion. We do a stir fry every single week. So a rice, a veggie, a protein, and a sauce. Delicious. Pasta is always an easy one and one that you can kind of like scale up or scale down. Power bowls. I'll include some photos of some of our favorites as well. But I definitely recommend meal prepping. The other thing that I recommend is washing your sheets or doing a load of laundry. So our ritual is every Sunday when we wake up, the sheets go into the wash and we use the nice Downy beads. We buy them at Sam's in bulk to save a couple bucks, but it's like I think it's Earth Fresh, or I don't know. It's the blue Downy laundry beads. They're not actually blue, they're white, but the packaging is like a baby blue. We get so many compliments on how good we smell. And the best gift I've ever given myself is because if you're an entrepreneur, you probably work a little on the weekends. So like, yeah, I'm working a little on Sunday. I'm prepping for my week, and we'll get to more of that in a second. But when I get into bed, I need to be like an oasis. I need to do everything I can to unload my nervous system and get ready for what's coming at me this week and what is required of me in the coming week. And the best gift I can give myself is fresh clothes that are folded and put away for the week and fresh sheets. A fresh pillowcase to help keep my skin clear. Not doing great this week, but that's okay. The one tip I will give you is do not forget about everything in your washing machine and your dryer, because we did that for so many months. And now I just set a phone alarm, but we'd walk into the bedroom at 8:00 and the bed wouldn't be made and the clothes would need to go in the dryer still. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what are we doing? This sucks. Now we have to make the bed. It's just an annoying first world problem. If you've been there, you know what I mean. It's just like it's something that can be easily prevented. And so therefore I recommend that if you have to, just set a timer on your phone, make sure you do that before like you eat dinner or something, because after dinner you kind of move into wind down time. That is a top recommendation of mine. The last thing that we do that I think is maybe a little bit different than what other people do is we do a weekly check-in. And so part of growing a business and being an ambitious female, and I'm pulling it up so I can talk through it. You might be building alone, so you could do this solo. I used to do this solo. I have a partner now. And when we first started dating, I still did this solo. Now that we own a home together, this is a joint effort. Essentially, my business plan is something that he signed off on, and something that I tell him over and over again is that like, you are the most important stakeholder in this plan. If you are not signed on to this, I need to sacrifice something, right? Like this has to be a joint venture because my goals are so big and they are going to require so much of me for so many years. That they will, by proxy require things from him as well. So there's like this level of mutual respect between us. And something that we talked about is as the business gets busier and busier, and as I get more involved and as I mature and grow as an entrepreneur, we need a way to constantly come back to ourselves and to have things that are just for us, like goals. So we have our weekly check-in. We call it check-in. It's on the calendar. It usually happens Sunday nights, but like we move it around. We don't stick to the calendar as like an appointment. We just kind of get to it on Sundays when we can, but it's a staple of our week. So we sit down and we talk about, we have like thought starters. I swear to God, we do this. We talk about what went well. And we've done this for over a year now. So we talk about what went well. Like, how did the last week go? How are we feeling? We talk about things in the relationship, things in our life, things in work, and like both of us get a turn and we kind of like chat through things. And then we talk about what didn't go so well. So if there was any issues in the week with each other, in life, in work, like typically we've addressed them before that, but it's like a little reflection period, like what did we learn? What support do we need moving forward? That type of thing. Then we do a budget review. So we have a shared budget tracker and we fill that out and we just make sure that like we're within reason on all of our categories. The intention is not to micromanage each other. It's just to be like aligned, make sure we're good. And then we do have individual and joint savings goals. And so we talk through those. And then then we go to the monthly goal section. So we both have a monthly goal that we set. And we'll check in on it. We'll be like, how do you think you did? Do you want us to tweak anything for next week? Yada, yada. And then we also talk about the business. Because like I said, that is an asset in our life that we both have we both have skin in the game on it. So talk about like, okay, how's it going there? What can we do for it? Yada, yada. After we get through goals, then we look at calendars. So we talk about, okay, what's coming up this week? I know last week I had, I think 5 networking events. And so I was like, okay, I'm gone this day, I'm gone that day, I'm gone this night. I need your help here. And this week I only had 1 networking event and he had some stuff after work one night. So I was like, okay, Erica, you're going to pick up the slack here this night. So we make sure that like as a house, we know where we're going to be throughout the week. My storage cut me off. But anyway, we do our calendar check, make sure we're aligned. And then we always make sure that there is at least 1 block of time, that is reserved for us to do just some type of quality time for us. And this is never anything big. So for example, this week on Wednesday night, we put on the calendar that we're going to shut off our phones. We're going to grill burgers outside. And that was our thing. Last week, we realized that the new Avatar was out on streaming. So we chose Tuesday night and we said, we're having a movie night and we're doing Avatar tonight. The week before that was the USA's last game in the World Cup, and we went to a bar to watch the World Cup. So like it's not anything crazy and big. In the future, we'll probably do like drinks or a night out or something, but life that hasn't been our life lately. So it doesn't have to be anything big, but we just sit down and we make sure that we have 1 protected block of time for ourselves. And then the last thing we do is we say, okay, what do we want to protect this week? And that's like a boundary. So that's usually for both of us, it's something with work right now. Like he wants to stay more focused and not context switch. I want to make sure that I don't let other people dictate my day, that type of thing. It could be something in our relationship. It could be something with the house. It could be really a myriad of things. So we do that check-in. And yeah, I also built an AI personal agent that kind of just remembers everything for us. So her name is Lucy. She's on the org chart now. we check in with Lucy, and Lucy's like, hey, you guys need to remember that this week you need to weed. Somebody's got to mow the lawn. Here's your daily tasks. Here's your weekly home maintenance stuff, because we basically have like a monthly, quarterly, annual home maintenance checklist. And we say, okay, Lucy, pepper these in through the month so we don't just have like one day where we have to go balls to the wall. We have one day per quarter where we have to go balls to the wall and do like seasonal cleaning. But other than that, she's like, okay, this is your day to wash the hardwood floors. This is your day to go clean the outside windows. And then him and I, we figure out between our calendars and our capacity, who's taking what, how are we divvying this up? So it helps us function like a team. And by doing all of this, I'm saving myself so much time. So during the week, I'm not trying to hold all this stuff in my head. I have a plan, my partner knows the plan, he has a plan, and we're working together. And that actually helps me move the business forward. So I think a Sunday reset is essential to success and growing a business or a big career, if that's something that you wish to do. I would love to hear what your Sunday reset looks like in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. That helps me a lot. And if you want to see more, next week we're talking about revenue operations. So hit the subscribe button. I upload every Saturday, but it's intended for you to watch during your Sunday reset, funny enough. And this is intended to give you a competitive edge for the week. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.